discuss pending litigation as provided for and by Mr. Tarazinski. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you, Ms. Gaio. Consideration 5 is the approval of a staff request to hold a closed session to discuss pending litigation as provided for in 5 ILCS 120/2C11, personnel and workers' compensation 5 ILCS 122C12. Do I hear a motion then to move to closed session?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Tarazinski, seconded by Mr. Gallagher. Discussion.
We did recognize, please, that there's also the
Personnel.
next page, personnel, the next page, also land acquisition.
Oh, land acquisition, thank you. Also to include land acquisition.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Simpson.
Yes.
Tarazinski.
Yes.
Gallagher.
Yes.
Naylor.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Keller.
Yes.
Mayor Povlsen.
Yes. We will be back at 7 p.m. for our regular City Council meeting. Mr. Baker.
Yeah, I have basically a formal request. Months ago, I asked for all the city property to be placed for bid for sale. Was discussed in closed session briefly. Alderman Gallagher has brought up comments that he's been applauded for, and I thank him on specific properties. There's no reason that we should be in the land holding business. I personally think that any discussions for sale or purchase for land ought to be out here, not in the back room. So what I'm asking for is at least two other aldermen to bring it up formally for the next council meeting, that all properties be listed, and then we'll decide if we put them all in the newspaper or put signs up to sell.
Thank you. Mr. Naylor?
My thanks to them and my hats off to them. In response to Mr. Baker's comments regarding this position of city-owned property, yes, you did give me that direction. That effort is underway. It's not a simple matter of providing you a list. I think it would behoove you, at least it's my sense that it would behoove you to understand the nature of each parcel that we own and make a decision as to which ones you may wish to sell. For example, a remnant piece of property at the corner of some subdivision has no economic value, would likely stay within our ownership since it's not large enough for any kind of redevelopment purposes. That's at one end of the spectrum. At the other end of the spectrum are the large acres of land that we own at the airport, which we can't sell unless we reimburse the federal government. And then there's everything else in between. We are providing for you an analysis of all those parcels that have the possibility of a development potential, and I'll get that to you in due course. The other item, again, Mr. Mr. Baker made a comment on the item regarding water permit fees. I believe it was unintentional, but regarding our building inspection staff, the comment was made to the effect that they don't have enough to do. They've got plenty to do. As you know, we've reduced that staff significantly, and with what development activity we do have in town, they're kept very busy in that area. And in addition, we've diversified their job duties by also requiring them to do property maintenance inspection services, also now snow route ticketing, and they also assist our public works crew in plowing the airport. So I think we've made good use of the staff we had in redirecting their efforts in areas where we have lesser amount of resources to do the job. And I believe that's it for my report.
Thank you. Thank you. City Attorney?
I would point out to you that before we can list any item for sale that would be real property, we need to make the determination that that property is surplus and no longer needed by the city. So that has to be done on a case-by-case basis. It cannot be done basically by listing them all on a piece of paper. That has to be done for each parcel. And as Mr. Biernacki said, some of these parcels are in fact being used for other purposes. One of the parcels that we do happen to own is as you approved at the last meeting, is used as right-of-way. It's a vacant parcel, but it's part of the right-of-way. So you need to keep things like that in mind as you're looking at the list of all of the parcels that the city owns and determining whether or not they are in fact surplus and not needed by the city.